I'm going to introduce Rico King. He's a filmmaker, an actor, an entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. We met through a mutual friend outside of policing over a year ago who said, you guys are in the same space, you should connect. I don't want to take any steam from Rico, but when I talk about what somebody can actually do with not only a vision, but the unending work ethic behind it, to be able to grind through and have major impact with no resources, no capital, no real support, with nothing but a vision, Rico's living proof. So Rico, man, I'm going to turn it over to you. And by all means, Rico will talk through his part.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right. Only Ron's answering? How's everybody doing? All right, that sounds a little better. So this started, I'm here to shoot a documentary of the impact gun violence has on our community. When I met up with Ron, I found out about the town halls, and I'm like, hey, I got to learn about Toronto because I've never lived or been here before. So I attended a town hall. One of the town halls, it got heated. And a gentleman was arguing back and forth about how can he make a change, and I said the story on how I did a change in my neighborhood and out there in Baltimore and Houston, Texas. And Ron really liked the idea. So I kept speaking in every town hall, and I said, Ron, maybe let me make a presentation so we can show people in hopes to motivate that sometimes the resources might be low, but as long as you love your community, you could do it, because love conquers all. And it all started in 2015. I was shooting a movie in Houston, Texas. My executive producer told us to stop because something happened in Baltimore. And he said, go to Baltimore, you got the family over there, and then you can record, and this will be really interesting. So when I went to Baltimore, I lived in Maryland and Houston, Texas for most of my life. So when I went back to my family neighborhood out there in Baltimore, Maryland, somebody got murdered right when I showed up on Lafayette and Monroe. It's on the west side of Baltimore. And I was like, that is really weird. I don't know what's going on. And I've heard during the summer that because of the civil unrest that was going on, I took all these pictures. Gang members took advantage of that and started taking out scores on each other. So there were so many shootings. Even at the time I was there was about 3 shootings that whole week on that same street. And then we asked ourselves in the community, like, how many more have to die before we make a change? This cardboard, the piece of wood over there has been there since I was real small. I used to drive by there all the time. And when I saw it in 2015, I was like, wow, this still makes sense. The neighborhood is just still upside down. And I met up with a few guys in the neighborhood, and we discussed this, and we said, hey, listen, this is it's getting out of hand, so we got to bring it together, because if it's not us, nobody will. You know, we're the ones that live here every day. We're the ones that care about our parents, our grandparents, and our children. So we decided to meet up with a few guys who are conflicting in the neighborhood, because, I mean, let's keep it real. We all know who exactly is doing what in our neighborhoods. We met up with them, and we're like, we got to cease fire, because the kids can't come outside and play anymore. Our parents aren't even barbecuing no more. You know, nobody's having fun in the neighborhood because of some conflict. I know y'all don't even remember what it started over. It's just retaliation after retaliation. And to our surprise, everybody was tired of it, but they needed somebody to step up, because nobody wanted to be the first person to be soft or to look like they're backing down. And then we called it no-shoot zone. We said, this right here is a no-shoot zone. Right, that picture won't show it, but there's a snow cone spot right down the street, right on the same, it's a parking lot, it's a big parking lot. The kids used to come over there in the wintertime, they throw the snow fight, and we had barbecues and EDC in the summer. So that was like, okay, this is a mutual spot, nobody is supposed to shoot over here. We had a block party, we called some rappers out, some folks from the neighborhood got to express how they feel about what's going on, and to give a message to the youth to stop the violence. One day, a year after, I went back to Baltimore to visit my family, and we were also shooting a little a short film in the backyard. But then I went to the gas station and I realized I saw these kids, they have a lot of energy and they love doing this, is taking little rocks and throwing them at cars in traffic. Just getting in trouble. But I told them, hey, listen, instead of throwing rocks at cars, why don't you offer everybody coming to the gas station to help with their gas and ask them for $1? You know, it's way more constructive. You can use your energy way better. I said, whoever has the most dollars, you come to the back alley, we're going to shoot a scene together. I'll put y'all in a movie. And these are the kids that came back there. There were about 15 of them, but these three were mostly on camera. And I put all of them in the movie. I just wanted them to stop throwing rocks at cars. And then while we're shooting this film, I told them, hey, just improv a script. Just say whatever. I'm just going to back the camera up and you can walk towards me. And they kept saying, this is a no-shoot zone, nobody shoots over here. It's a no-shoot zone, nobody shoots over here. And I was like, whoa, this is last year. And this has really impacted our kids. They really believe in this. And this was really for them because we want to stop the cycle of violence. It keeps going generation after generation. So I was really motivated by the fact that we actually made that work. I went and checked the murder map and I realized there were no shootings on our street and no murders on the block. And I felt like, wow, this was an amazing idea, and it was a big success because in West Baltimore, it gets really dangerous over there. The kids were painting it on the sidewalks. We kept month to month always giving gifts to the children in the neighborhood, and it just became a really happy time on Lafayette and Monroe out in West Baltimore. The news came, Al Jazeera came, ABC came, Fox came, because they were surprised what's going on with the no-shoot zone. First responders came there. It became like a mural for people to come take pictures with. There's a lot of pictures of the first no-shoot zone in Baltimore by this mural right there. People kept messaging us on Instagram, Facebook, all day. Hey, somebody got shot over here. My neighborhood is going crazy. We heard about what y'all doing out there on West Lafayette. And we want y'all to come do the no-shoot zone in our neighborhood. So, all this had me thinking, and I was like, okay, listen, Houston, Texas, where I come from, is the 77036 zip code. And our zip code, since 2012, had over 90 murders. So many kids get killed just crossfire, guys just shooting back and forth at each other. Myself, in 2015 and 16, I lost 5 friends to gun violence. A lot of them are my real close friends. It's just not a guy I used to know around the corner or whatever. These are guys I went to school with. We hung out every day, my neighbors, and I thought this is the perfect time for me to bring this no-shoot zone concept to Houston, Texas. And if we could stop the violence in Baltimore, Maryland, on a hot block on Baltimore, Maryland, we could definitely do it in Houston, Texas. So I did the same thing. This time I had a camera with me. We meet up with the gang members, the guys in the neighborhood who are active outside, and we have a discussion to, hey, what's the problems and how can we make them better? They agreed to the concept because everybody's tired of the violence. So we had a little block party, and that's on my zip code right there down the street from my apartment, called it No-Shoot Zone. In Houston, we don't have we can't do graffiti as much as we can in Baltimore, so I printed out a banner and we hung the banner out on the street. I did it in Sunnyside, Texas. I saw this kid right here touch the banner like that, and I said, hey, let's put let the kids put their hands on some paint and touch the banner because this is for them, And we did it in 3rd Ward, we did it in Sunnyside. We did it in 5 very violent neighborhoods in Houston, Texas. And all the guys in the neighborhoods all were in unanimous decision to, hey, we got to stop the violence. And they were actually telling me who to go talk to. Hey, this gang is who we got problems with. Can we see if we can meet up and see what's going on? The no-shoot zone block parties became bigger, and we started making them big, huge events where we have competitions for the kids. Most of the time, all the kids need is a pat on the back. And not all the kids in the school can make the basketball team or the football team. So we had competitions in the neighborhood where we gave the kids awards. These ladies right here work at a salon, they all came to the no shoe zone and did all the little girls' hairs. We had barbers come make all the give all the little boys haircuts, because I wanted everybody to go to school feeling good, because when you feel good about yourself, you start having a good momentum towards working and becoming somebody in society. This young man right here got a scholarship. I work with different schools and colleges, and it was a lot of research for me to do and people to talk to for me to find out who needs what and get stuff like scholarships. And we even had a few guys with record deals and stuff like that with rappers that came through the No Shoot Zone. The parties kept getting bigger and bigger. The banner couldn't even fit in the picture sometimes, and most people couldn't even fit in the picture sometimes too. Then I made Fox News randomly, and it was weird because I was like not a very big fan of Fox, but they're the ones that gave me the first platform. And that's the day I found out that everybody thinks I'm an activist. I had no idea. I just really cared about my neighborhood. It was a really good little news article, and spelled my name wrong. It's one C. And then it was Garden City, the last No Shoe Zone block party. Garden City is a historic project housing in Houston, Texas, that has a big conflict with a neighborhood down the street from there. And this No Shoe Zone block party, the police even gave me a call and said, "We know what you do, we love it, but you can't have a No Shoe Zone block party in Garden City because this neighborhood is known, and you're gonna have, we heard people who've shot each other are coming, so you can't do it over there. It's just a dangerous situation for the public." But I promised the neighborhood we would, and we had a lot of commercials out there. We had a councilman, we had a few famous rappers do commercials. I was like, listen, we can't stop the block party. And I believe that we have actually resolved our problems because I did meet up with these people prior hand. We had a block party, and the guys they suspected were gonna do anything, were hugging each other. It was an amazing time. As usual, we gave out awards. I invited the police officer who gave us a call, because I do believe in community and police need to get together, because I can't always be in every community doing No Shoot Zone block parties or solving the problems with in the streets. So I know the police that patrol there are the number one people. For me, if they build a relationship, the community will feel safer, because a lot of times the tension makes a lot of folks feel unsafe and makes the police not do their job effectively. And some of the awards I gave out this time in the Garden City No Shoes on Block party were for science, math, whoever is the most helpful in the neighborhood, whoever cleans the neighborhood, whoever respects each other. We had a respect award, loyalty award, a lot of different awards so I can motivate the kids. If they have a prize they can look up to every day in the morning, they know they can live up to something and they can be something. I met up with my congressman who invited me to breakfast to talk about what we've been doing, because he was really impressed by it. And we talked about different strategies to implement with the No Shoot Zone to make the community better. My mayor called me and he gave me a few awards for it and recognition, but the biggest gift, in my opinion, for what happened with the No Shoot Zone was in 2017, we saw 11% drop in the murder rate in Houston, Texas. A lot of the assaults were dropped, a lot of the domestic violence was dropped too, and I felt really happy about it. That's the biggest trophy I could ever get. And I do this occasionally because, you got to be consistent with it, I found out a lot of the kids in our schools don't have role models. And in life it's easier to destroy things, but it's really hard to build things. So you got to teach them how to build. And I know that they don't see positive male role models. Most of my friends who got murdered, most of my friends who were in jail for lengthy sentences, didn't have a father growing up. So in my neighborhood, I go to different schools to always read for the kids and be there for the kids and interact with them so they can see a positive male role model. I do this not only in Houston, in Baltimore, New York City, and in Tanzania, Africa. I'm trying to expand to more and more different countries internationally. And I'm here shooting this documentary, and here also to motivate and find out what's going on in Toronto, and hopefully we can get together and stop the violence before it gets too late or it gets to a level where it's like it's in the South. We have to maintain Canada's reputation as a safe place and bring it back to what it was back in the day. And that's about it.